This is our day 9 on learning test automation using Cypress. But as of now, we are learning JavaScript. And in JavaScript, today's topic is loops or looping concept. Now the question is, what is loop? So loop, as the name itself is like, which repeats something, right? Or which covers something again and again, right? That is called loop, right? When you listen a song in loop, right, again and again, we say it's a loop, correct? In the same way, in programming also, when you want to do some repetitive task, you use loop, right? A very simple example, maybe, let's say I want to print hi 5 times, right? I'll again write hi. I'll again write hi. Let's say I'll again write hi. Then again I'll write hi. Let's say there is a requirement that you want to print hi 5 times. So what you will do in program? Let's create a new program. If you don't know about the loop, what you will do? Let's say you don't know about how looping structure works, how to use for loop or while loop or any loop concept, what you are going to do then? So let me write loops demo dot js. So what you will do, you will simply write console dot log in the bracket. You will say hi, correct? And you will repeat it 5 times. And you will say, okay, my program is done. And now my program is working fine. So let me execute this. So you will be writing node. Okay. And it's working. It's printing me hi 5 times. But do you think this is a good way of writing the program? Let's say if you want to print it 10,000 times, right? So will you write 10,000 lines of code to do the similar thing, right? Or maybe another program is, let's say you have to print a number from 20 to 300, right? So will you print it like hard coded? Will you do hard coding like console? Let me write it something like this. Console.log. You will do 20 and then 21, 22, 23 till 300. No, you will not be doing in that way, right? So that's why we should use loop, right? So whenever there is a repetitive task, we should use loop. So I'll show you how by using loop, this can be done in less number of code, less number of lines of code, right? And we'll understand how loop works, okay? So very first thing which we will understand is while loop, okay? While loop. And let me give you a simple structure how while loop structure is there, right? And it's very logical, okay? So we'll say while, and then some statement, and here there will be some condition, right? Or you don't have to write the condition here. You can write condition here, actually. So here will be a condition, and here will be here there will be two things. One is statement. One is the statement which you want to execute. Statement, right? And second will be increment or decrement. It's up to what program you want to write, right? And here it will be initial value. Okay. Now let's understand what I'm saying, and it's not difficult. It's very, very simple. It's very, very simple. So if I'll write it, I'll write it like this. Let x is equals to 1. Okay. Let the value of x is 1. And what we will do, we will simply say while x is less than equal to 5, what we want to do, what statement we want to execute, we want to say console dot log, we want to print x itself, right? And then we will increase it. So we will say x is equals to x plus 1, right? See how simple it is. What, sorry, I should write it here high, because we want to print high 5 times, right? We want to do that. Now, how simple it is. It's like we are saying, okay, let's take x is equals to 1. Okay. Then the execution will come here and it will check x is less than equal to 5. Yes, it's true. So it will execute this block of the code. So it will say, okay, console.log high. So it will print high. And what we are doing at the next line is we are saying x is equals to x plus 1. So what we want to do, we are increasing the value by 1. So x will become 2 and 2 will be assigned to x now. So the current value or the new value of x will become 2. Once it will reach to this closing curly bracket, it will go back to the 28th line and it will check x is less than 5. Yes. So x is now 2. 2 is less than equal to 5. True. So it will again execute this statement. Okay. So it will say hi, and then now x, the current value of x is 2. So 2 plus 1, 3. X will be now 3. In that way, it will print the same thing high 5 times. And there will be a condition when x will become 6, right? So once it will become 6, here 6 is less than equal to 5, false. So this conditions, once this condition will become false, it will come out of this while loop. So whatever statement you will write it here, that is going to be executed now. Okay. So I'll say end of program. Okay. Got it? Let me make like how it works. I'll tell you in the paint also. So let me explain you through this how while works, right? So the thing is, there are set of statements. These are the set of statements. So we'll say set of instructions for a statement. Set of statement. Okay. Now you are saying that there is a condition, right? So there are conditions. Okay. There are conditions. So here is that condition which you are putting in while. Okay. So this is condition. Condition. Okay. And what you want to do, until this, if this condition is true, it works like this. If the condition is true, then execute set of statements. Okay. So let's understand it that condition is true. Okay. If it is false, right? If that is false, then come out of the loop. Okay. So this, let's say this is under a loop. These things are under a loop. These things is loop or this curly bracket. right? So if this condition is true, execute this, right? But if the condition is false, if the condition is false, then what it will do? Let's assume that this condition is false now. Then we will execute the next line of the code. We'll execute. Next line means from here, right? So it will be like execute whatever is there after the while block. Okay, we'll say it's a while block, this one. So this is like while block. This is while block. The whole code is this particular thing is while block. So it will come out of it. It will come out of this and it will try to execute this thing now. Once you will say, no, my condition is false now, false, then it will do this thing. Okay. Now to enter into this loop, you should have some initial value, right? So initialization is important. So here you will initialize something, right? And there should be increment or decrement, correct? Here in the loop itself, so that it will reach to a condition when it will come out of the while loop. Otherwise, it will be infinite, right? Otherwise, it will be infinite loop. So here there will be increment or decrement. Okay. Okay. So here, if you see, our initialization part is here. Okay. This one. Condition, this x is equals to 5 is this. The statement which you want to execute is this. And once the while, either the while loop is over or the condition is false, right? In that condition, in that way, the next line of execution, next line of code will be executed. Okay. So the same thing, let's do it in program. So what we will do, instead of this, see, this is 5 times we are doing, right? Instead of that, we can say let, you can take any variable. I am thinking, let's say q is equals to 1. I'll say while q is less than equal to 5, do this thing. I'll say what I want to do. I will say console.log in the bracket. I'll say hi. Okay. And after that, I'll say q is equals to q plus 1. Done. So this will also print a hi 5 times. Let's execute this. Okay. So it will print 10 times as of now because, you know, first 5 hi because of this, which we have written, which is of no use. I am deleting it. So this particular program, if you will run it again, see here, it's printing hi 5 times, correct? And how good and logical it is now. If I make it 45, just changing here, q is less than equal to 45. Now if I'll execute it, it will print hi 45 times. See here, it's printing 45 times. If you want to see it, you can simply say hi and q. Print the q value also. So what I'm doing, console.log hi, and then, you know, plus q means when you write in the log, if you write plus q means you want to print the value of q also, just like this. Okay, whatever you print in double quote will be printed as it is. Okay, so let's run this again. See here, it's printing hi and all those values. Okay, it's printing from 1 to um, 45. Okay, so loop is making our work uh, easy, simpler. You can do repetitive tasks, some logical tasks using while loop. Okay? So this is while. I'll give you this code in the chat window. You can try at your end. Now, there is another alternate to this is you can use uh, for loop also. For loop. So how for loop works? In the for loop, you can write condition, initialization, and increment decrement in the same single line. So I can say for let x is equals to 1, x is less than equal to 5, x plus plus, and here I'll say same thing. So the statement is same, console.log hi plus x, that's it. So in the while you put the condition here, but in for loop you do the condition, the initialization here. The condition you put inside the while, but in the for loop you do after semicolon. So there are three parts in the for loop. One is initialization, semicolon, and then the limiting condition. So this condition decides when you want to come out of the loop. Okay, when you want to come out of the loop. And this is like increment. So x plus plus is same as x is equals to x plus 1. Okay, it's a shortcut of saying x is equals to x plus 1. It's x plus plus. That's it. So let me copy this code and let's put it in our program. Here, same thing we are doing. And let's see whether this will work or not. So I'll save this. I will clear this and I will run this again. See here, it's printing hi 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Correct? So same thing what you are doing through while can be done through for loop also. So what is the structure of the for loop? Let's understand that also. So here is my for loop code. Okay. What is the structure of for loop? You have initialization first. Okay. You have initialization. How it works? Initial value, or we'll say initial value, then semicolon, then limiting condition. Limiting condition means what is the limit of that thing, when it will come out of the loop, right? And the third thing is increment or decrement, INCR, DCR. Okay, all things will be there in the bracket, in the circular bracket for loop, correct? Then this is your statement, right? So here there is no increment decrement inside the bracket. The thing is you are putting it at for loop statement itself, right? So this is your statements. That's it. Okay. So for loop, how for loop works? It's check, okay, x is 1, okay, 1 is less than 5, true. So it will execute this. Okay. Then once it will reach to 10th line, it will go back. And once it will go back, x will become 2 because of this statement. X is now 2. 2 is less, so this will be executed. These two things will be executed again and again. Initialization will happen only one time. Initialization will happen only one time, but these two things will be executed again and again. So x is 2 now. 2 is less than 5, true. So it will do this here. It will say hi, and then the current value of x is 2. Now again it will go here. X is 3 now. 3 is less than 5, true. So it will print hi 3. X will become 4. 4 is less than 5, true. It will print hi 4. Then x will become 5 automatically. X will become automatically 5 because we have written here increment thing, right? And the order will be like this only. So first initialization will be there, then there will be a condition when the the loop will be over, and then this will be the increment, right? So now x will become 5. 5 is less than equal to 5. It will print high 5. Now x will become 6. 6 is less than equal to 5. False. So these will not get executed once x will become 6. And then whatever is there after the 10th line of code, that will be executed, right? We have not written it, but it will execute then whatever the value, whatever the set of statements you have after this curly bracket. Okay. So this is how for loop works. There is another loop which 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 can be used in a very special cases, but we should avoid using that, right? So that is called do while loop. So do, so the structure is this: do. So it's very English like thing, like do. What do you want to do? I want to do this. It's like this: do this. Let me make it y. Okay, let me make it y. Do this, but till what time? So I want to do this until x is less than equal to 5. It's like this. Okay, there is a y, not x, so I'm taking it y. And then you should initialize it here. Let y is equals to 1 and do y. I have to write here 1. Okay, so this is how it will be. Okay, and let's print something else. I will say hello, hello. Okay, and let's run this again. So clear. And if you see here, it's going infinite because I have not put the limiting condition. Okay, so that is not a good thing. It will harm your RAM, right? So infinite loop is not good. It can make your system, hang. So basically, I said y is 1, and I am executing console.log hello 1. Then y is still 1. So 1 is less than 5. Yeah. So 1 will always be less than 5. And that's why my code is going into infinite loop, right? So whenever you write loop conditions, right, or loop structure, keep in mind there will always be three things, right? What are those three things? Initialization, condition or the limiting condition, and increment or decrement. Basically, I should have written here y is equals to y plus 1. Okay, I should have written this thing. Now this will work fine. If I'll execute this program again, see here, it's saying hello 1, hello 2, hello 3, hello 4, hello 5, right? And another thing is, it's not like that you should always start with 1. It's up to you. It's like how many times you want to do it. I can say y is equals to 22. And I can say here until y is less than equal to 28. Tell me how many times it will print hello. My question is related to this code. Tell me how many times it will, you can put it in chat window, how many times it will say hello in this code.